You might wake up some morning to the sound of something moving
with a great big fat grin, baby, and then some, eh? Getting your old heart underway here, babies, learning how it is in life, the magic fields of life. We really get to play as the children of light that we are, the gracious love in motion. Getting to experience. This is why we so love watching little sheepies chase butterflies. It reminds us of how free we really are to be chasing butterflies too, and being the butterflies of love that we are right along with it, babies. You betcha. Magnificent monarchs, every one, man. Yes, indeedy. Dancing around delightfully above the little sheepy pasture, you know, and mooing at the cows as you fly by, saying, hi, guys, moo, 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 moo. Yeah, baby, you know, we're happy little butterflies flying by, and the little sheepy that are chasing them, you know, and fascinated with them, too, man. Remember that fascination you had as a kid with whatever, you know. I mean, your attention would be drawn here and there, but butterflies would be one of them, man. They're an amazing creation when you look at them up close. And so divinely gorgeous. Most life is when you get up to it in its intricate detail. Oh my goodness. It's a work of art, ain't it, babies? Yeah, like a painting on a canvas, but it lives and it breathes and it feels and it desires and activates on desires and so forth. I mean, wow. And how, man, it's like, wow, love in motion, baby, in a fleshly sort of way, man. Even if it's a snake crawling on the ground or a bird flying above, man, they come from a common root, don't you know? Just like all the trees come from one common root, the tree of life at the beginning of love, which is the beginning of time, where we all start to unwind and, you know, don't have to pull into the gas station to get fueled up anymore, you know? Babies, you know, they're having a going out of business sale there at the oil companies now, you know. They're surrendering the whole economy to themselves. I mean, they want to go down hard. They're going to take everybody with them, you see. Well, no, don't quite work that way, babes. Rethink that dream now, will you? Come on, see? Ooh, you just give it up. Let it go. Move beyond this need. You know, this empty thing that says, oh, I got to control. I got to be the God that I ain't. Because you already are, man. I mean, that's God's in motion. You want to be a God? Well, you are a God, man. Shit. Just be that baby child again. Watch life flow through you and realize what that is. Just love in motion, given very innocently. You know, we step so far away from it in some of the forms of this reality that we've taken that we barely recognize it, but yet we do. It's been alive inside of everyone and everything too, man. And all of reality's been reflecting our own grandeur back to us. If we would just stop long enough, take a moment to see it, you know. That's why some of us that are travelers and journeyers like to cover the landscape and the turf, but we also like our little stopping places. Sometimes it's just 10 minutes to breathe the high mountain atmosphere of, say, northern Arizona, just for example. Wherever you happen to be, there's magic everywhere. And sometimes it's good just to step out of the motion and feel the motion of the life around you and experience, you know, it in that more appreciative sort of way that you can't always do when you're rushing on through, you know what I mean? You're pretty preoccupied with traffic and safety and all that shit, not to mention getting down yon highway in a hurry too, man. Oh, trucking down the highway. Roll on, Big Mama. Get out of my way. That's the way the flood of love is right now, man. And we own the highway because we are the highway. H-I-G-H, high as all get out, man. You betcha. Higher than a kite. Kites don't go high enough, man. You know, we've expanded, you know, from our roots here in the earth, we've expanded clear into the existential reality around us, all of it, don't you see? And it's just fun being this little baby child in it, ain't it? I kind of like the feeling of it, man. You know, I always have. I always tried to entertain my boyhood side, keep it occupied some way or another. I didn't want it to feel neglected, you know, but I couldn't always let the little tiny child out, or at least I didn't think I could. But now I do. That's Coyote medicine through and through. It's like that song, Odino. We played that the other morning. I couldn't believe I actually did that. I actually allowed that thing to happen, but it was cool. Return to me, you know, it's like that, man. You know, that's what the little baby child been singing all along, man. You know, just sitting there smiling and being the love that it is. It's all it can be, man, you know. You see that in your youth somewhat, in the representation you see in physicality, It's a little bit of a suggestion of your reality. Like I said, all around us, it just reflects us back to us. And that's why I like the Grand Canyon. It's such a grand reflection, man. Wow. So we're beginning to see how simple it can be. And how, we can just let it unravel from inside ourselves first and foremost. This is a very, very personal experience. That's why there's rock and roll. Get your medicine flowing, don't you know, early in the day, man. Get them muscles and joints flexing into the reality a bit better than they have done, Get your life more smoothly in a fluid motion, So you don't have to serve in the old traumatic ways anymore, being custodial condition, owned by anyone. No one owns anything, let alone a person. You can't own a person, but people think they do, and they own you. This is like old George Carlin explained to us earlier today, in his George Carlin sort of way. But babies, we experienced one of those the other day. I guess it was Free Day Friday. We sunk the Titanic or something like that, experienced what it felt like to be that nasty of a tycoon, but they're just sitting there begging to be rehabilitated, to be let out of that burden. The heaviness weighs you down, man, whether you like it or not, it just does, and it's not something that's really pleasant to be carrying around with you. No matter how numb you are to it, you're not numb to it at all. So really it's kind of like releasing of a burden to let it go. See, and that's kind of what they were begging for. The more mayhem they create, the more, just like an angry child that can't express itself in this reality, feels frustrated, what does it do? It acts up. Starts breaking windows and shit, screaming and making lots of noise, stealing candy from the grocery store and shit, just being total mischief, you know what I mean? That's what a kid does when he needs help, when he needs some loving, man. Needs a good dose of it, too. But nobody always understands that. In fact, hardly anybody, really. They try to drug them down and say, oh, you're dyslexic or something, or you're AC/DC. Well, if I was called AC/DC, I'd be pretty damn happy. That's a great rock group, man. Yeah, it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. That's what that little kid experiences there, don't you know? But we got the rock. We got the roll. The child's got us through it, see, because we kept it alive. See, because I relate my experience, you start to remember how you've done that too, see? Because we're really cosmically together in this experience. At the base essence of life, we're living through the same moment all the time, together, in our own personal way, but it's the same kind of energy we're dealing with, same circumstance, though vastly different we may be in how we express and experience it. That's the beauty of the tapestry of life. It's got its diversity, and greatly so. I mean, it's just like snowflakes. No two snowflakes are alike. Out of the gazillions of them that come falling out of the sky every year. Imagine that. Well, look around you in creation and realize your uniqueness in that too. You're an aspect that's real personal here. The personal experience is kind of brand new here in this reality. We always experienced it collectively. We didn't know what it would be like to be gathered individually. We had our individual forms and could experience that way, of course, but the whole collective was with us always, We're in the collective heart, and that's all we knew. So we wanted to create something personal. We wanted to experience something personal. So we agreed to a removal of sorts of our energy so we have some motivation to seek it back and get through some dark times and learn some enlightened lessons along the way, and find magic when you didn't think you had any, man. Just about the time you're ready to give up, you're eyeballing that bottle of pills up there on the shelf saying, oh shit, don't let me think that. Just about that time the phone rings. Hey, it's Uncle Joe, man, where you been? Listen, I'm down here in Mexico and I got tons of cash and I'm feeling burdened by it. You want to take over some of my estate for me and just run this shit? I mean, you're a young man, you're ambitious, you're competent, you're pretty honest. And you're just standing there going, okay, sure, hell yeah, man. I can see myself getting a tan down there in Mexico. Let's go, baby. That's how it works. See, just about the time you think it's over with, that's when it's just begun. No matter which way it turns, sometimes it turns other way, but it's always as beneficial as something like that to yourself personally. See, what others feel burdened by, you'll be blessed by. Because you're in the condition now to handle it, see. What they can't handle, you can. You know equity, you know truth, you know how to put life into liquid motion. Even if you have to use monetary means to do it, you know how, baby. You're like the gift basket of love. You know how to dole this shit out. And they'll start to speak from the heart. See, how many people do you know that really do speak from the heart? Especially on the internet, I mean, you know. Yet everyone is. Even if they, you know, think they're faking you out in some way, even if they have that kind of thought in their mind, the reality is you can only express your heart. You know, so that's what people are really starting to experience here across the spectrum of the internet, not just YouTube, not just Facebook, or any of those other little crazy sites we all hang out on, but throughout the humanity that goes along with it too, man. I mean, there's a new existence underway, and you know, there's a smoother way to be living, and we're smoothing out the wrinkled edges of it now, babies. Getting on with the and how, you see. That's the nature of the dream, man. When you're living in it, when you feel it as a resonance, and you feel that life resonating through you, see what I mean? It's harmonic tunage, babies. It really is. But it's a resonating energy, flows through your heart into creation. See, it comes like, if you look at it astrally, let's say, there's a golden flow of light that's flowing into the top of your little head and down into your heart. And from there, and of course it's rooted into Mother Earth too. There's a flow constant all the time. But through your creative heart explodes the creation around you into being. And when I say explodes, I mean, well, it's just instantaneous. It's there this moment now as you have it, or as you will have it, when your heart is doing the thinking, when the heart is assumed its natural place of being in the rhythm of life, then you're living in that divine presence, what I call the divine intelligence, the divine dream. And what you dream actively is what you're living in actively at the same time. And there is no time, because then you're just stepped outside of it, see? So you got all the time you need to be what you got to be and do what you want to do. And experience gets exquisite from here on out then. Because just like the thing you learn by being a soul presence in a rooted tree and spending a few hundred years doing that, just like that, you know, this few billion years, or billion years, I guess, of human experience has been a way of really rooting ourselves down into the reality and getting the wrinkles out of our creation forever, you know, and just bringing it into being now in a conscious, uniform sort of way, just like the flow of the river downstream, baby, you know, and all the life it blesses, you know. That's the wild nature of the creation we're living in. That's the wild nature of our hearts. That's why we feel so restless here at times and really have to move on. You know, you can be participating in the greatest love you've ever known, you know, let's say personally with somebody, and the wind blows the other way and something takes you away. It ain't anything either one of you would have, but it does. And you're on your way and you're getting more expansive all the time. It doesn't slow you down a bit. But you sure miss them. But you carry them in your heart, and you tenderly love them, and you know there will come a time you'll go back there and look each other in the eye. Know that it's all been worth it. Every bit of it. See, that's the moment of life we're getting to now. It's a moment like that, where you go back and settle the score with all those you had to so-called leave behind, because you had to get on with life. You were a heart in motion, and you couldn't stay still. You couldn't. This was beyond your ability to. You see, you're not like the others. They can settle in and be okay with that. It may not be the most pleasant thing, but they can do it. Well, that's an aspect of ourselves we have to watch out for, too. You don't want to do that. That's death for free hearts like ours, to settle into that kind of reality, as most of us know, because we've experienced it one way or another, haven't we? Yeah. Given our service to it, ain't we? But also saw through it by doing so, and that's how we got out of it. You got to get in there and take it, and then you've had enough, and you know there's a better way, and you're going to go create it if you can't find it somewhere. You see, and that's when you start to wake up. Oftentimes, we'll go to really bizarre places to motivate ourselves into coming back to life, to find some richness in the dumbest and meanest of experience, let alone some of the more refined and beautiful that we get to. I mean, it's intoxicating to live as a human being, period, just to begin with. And intoxication is our natural state of being, meaning being loose enough to allow ourselves to be free and honest with one another immediately, and just, wearing our story like it's a reality, because it is. We lived it, and we love it. And see, now if it's on display, nothing's hidden. It's all real. And we can understand one another in a whole more deeper way, a more powerful way. Because we literally participate in one another's story, just passing on the street, let alone standing around passing the time of day or dancing ourselves into some really good times, eh? Yeah, whatever it might be, there is that. And this is the living love that life is. And, we wear them like medals on our chest in a way, but I mean, they're not really. They're not something to brag about or something to take pride in, but they're a rich, rich experience. It's a beautiful blend of colors and experiential creation, and unique to yourself in every way, just like the snowflakes are one from another, man. Very unique. We have our great similarities. We do deal with the collective in a collective way, yes. But we're unconscious to it. At least we have been for the most part, ain't we? See, but going with the flow is going with the collective flow. You see, that is the choice of the living heart of love that lives in all of creation. There's your higher power. There's your refined love. But it's within you. You are this higher power. It's not something separated from you in any way. It's a living thing. It's a perception, a way of being, a way of seeing, a way of living in a loving creation. Oh my God. If I could describe to you right now what I see, I can't quite do it because it's in a different realm. And so it's just, let's just say, it's the Divine Mother at great peace within herself, pouring herself into the creation that she is. It's like her entire personal being is ecstatically joined and absorbed into the creation around her, and she becomes one person in that creation, all of it. And her personal power passes into each item of creation, each speck of it. And so collectively now, yeah, we act, but we act personally, and we experience personally in a really deep and personal way. You see, in the way of creation, the origin of creation, the mother love that has passed herself into us in full presence. Now we've drawn the reality to us. And therefore the eclipse over the sun is done, and the day is one, and the nighttime too, babies. We're coming back, full-hearted, ever-present in our creation. We're her personal creations, her children. Do you think we're not loved? Do you think this creation doesn't just beg and yearn to care for us always? Do you think they've not mourned forever as we pass through the shithole hell of our old reality? Do you think they... man, I tell you what, we've had some real assistance here, and I thank them for it. But, man, babies got to have their babysitters, man, and sometimes they're pretty lax, ain't they? Yeah, we get away with a lot here, don't we? Yes, we do. The babies, when you embrace the child, you just stepped into your adulthood. When you finally see that and allow that child to be, you give it safe harbor inside of yourself. Give it birth, B-E-R-T-H, place to be right there in your heart, quite naturally, and blossoming into all the rest of you. To become the base essence of your creation, this baby child inside. Then you're the most mature being in the physical presence of reality. And you got the wisdom of all the ages and generations. In every life you've ever lived, in whatever form it might have taken, wherever it might be, it's a rock and roll reality. And we made it colorful, babies, and we made it real by living in it, didn't we? Yes, we did. fine little experience, man. You know, we'll remember it forever, won't we? And cherish it dearly. Yeah. But the child's alive now and knows this. Starting to remember. It's like it's been asleep for a while. Starting to remember its place, its personal place in reality. The innocent love. It's not restricted. It's not hamstrung. It's not tied up any longer. It's free inside of you, inside of me, inside of all that be. You know, it's free to be the innocent one, living within the earth, within the sun, and all that surrounds her in every way. Living it, because she passed into us just this very day. Well, she's always been there, of course. Another step, another way of describing it. Another way of being alive in it, eh? Ooh, each and every day, Monday through Friday here on the Coyote Medicine Show. Where else but the Hazy Radio Network, the very center of your universe now, at least in this moment of time. Well, it's centered in you, of course, but you know what I mean, Jelly Bean. Grandpa's here to help you get it clear. That's why we call it hazy, man, you know. I look outside today, I see clear sky that's hazy, man, you know. It's the perfect metaphor, man, you know. And by the way, that reminds us we haven't quite outlived the dream yet, because there's still chemtrails in the sky. When are we going to undream those, huh? Let's get that done pretty quick, eh? I'm tired of breathing this crap. Plugs up my nose, makes me sound a little plugged up. Got to get this stuff out of the atmosphere, man. Get back to living where life is really as pure and as natural as we want it to be. And how do we do that? Let it be. Let it flow through you into this creation just that way. That's Dream Central, and that's the dream center of everything. Living in you, babies, and me too, and God, what a mutuality of experience. See, it's beyond making love or anything we ever thought of as making love. It's the beauty of truth being revealed in its own divine way. How about that, babies? Does that rock with the rhythm of your soul? You know, or are you going to sit there and feel sorry for yourself, man? I mean, what's going on? Tell me. Ah, we love you so. Here on the Coyote Medicine Show, Grandpa Coyote helping you spread them wings, find that heart. Live this art we call life, baby. So much fun, baby, ain't it? You got some seasoning on you now, babies. You're rich, ripe, and ready. Yeah, let's go steady, okay?
Across my dream with nets of wonder, I chased a bright, elusive butterfly of love.